Hey guys, my name is Freedom. Today I'm going to show you how to export your 3D models from Blender 3.4 that really make it become the game ready 3D models and import into Unreal Engine 5.1 to make it become the game object, any of the terrain that already have the collision setting. You can see actually in Blender 3.4 or any of the Blender, any version of the Blender, once you already finish the 3D modeling part, sometimes it involves multiple meshes and also multiple materials. For example, now this is a 3D model, but you can see actually it is a lot of different 3D models that combine together, that combine all different 3D meshes to become one. And if this type of the 3D meshes, if too many, it is not game ready yet. The game ready 3D models is preferable just one single mesh. So you have to combine everything in Blender. And then sometimes you can see the whole 3D models, it is 17,000 triangles. It's too many faces. This is high poly. We need to make it become low poly. And how are we going to make it become game ready? And the third point is, you look at all of these materials. I go to the UV editing. Now you can see these 3D models contain so many materials. It's totally 9 materials, not only 9, it's totally 35 different material and textures. For the game ready 3D models, it is preferable to just combine and bake all the materials, textures to become just one single texture. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step. In Blender 3.4, make your 3D models to be game ready, make the multiple meshes 3D models to become one single mesh, and multiple materials to make it become one single materials. At the same time, high poly 3D models make it become low poly 3D models. Then, after that, import into Unreal Engine 5.1, set the proper collisions, and your player can have the interaction with this 3D model. So start from now. I'm going to close everything from here and start from beginning. The first step, what you are going to do is just go and get the Blender and install the Blender in your computer. Of course, you need this software. And then get the Simplygon installer. Get the Simplygon installer. This is the link. You have to go into the Simplygon official site. The simplygon.com/download. Then download the Simplygon SDK.exe. This is the installer. You have to install it in your computer. Simplygon is a plugin that's in the Blender that can make any of the high poly 3D models to become low poly and bake all the texture materials automatically just in 1 second. And also it can combine all of the 3D mesh to become just one single mesh. The Simplygon is a plugin. You can see when I press N, the Simplygon plugin is here. We need this. So I'm going to just start from beginning. I close the Blender as well. All the demos start from here. Download and install the Simplygon in your computer. Once you already finish install it, the first step before you open your Blender, you have to make sure you check this out. Simplygon license applications. The Simplygon itself, this is a free software with free license. The first step, you have to go to Simplygon license application and then install Simplygon free license. It is about 3 years. The Simplygon is a Microsoft software that gives you free license. Right, next. Then you have to agree, and next. Here you have to sign in by using your Microsoft account. Just to sign in, then you will get the 3 years free license from Microsoft. Right. The next step, before you really run the Blender, you have to go to the Simplygon grid agents. You have to To open it, once you open it, it will appear at here, the Simplygon Grid Agent 10. Alright, once you already have this, next, if you already installed the Blender in your computer, just open your Blender. The Blender must be installed before the Simplygon, so that during the process of the installation of the Simplygon, it will automatically install the plugin for the Blender. Now, my Blender 3.4 already installed just before the Simplygon. Now you can see the Simplygon Grid Agent already activated. The first step, what you are going to do is just go to the Edit Preferences. Under the add-on, here you have to search for Simplygon. Then the 3D optimization Simplygon 10 will appear at here. You have to make sure you activate it. Then, when you press N, the Simplygon plugin will be here. That's so easy. Now, I'm going to open my previous project there. I don't save this. I have one of the project as the demo. The Blender file is at here, the Moon01. This is one of my demo for today's tutorial. Now you can see this is a 3D model. If I choose this wireframe mode, you can see this is a really high poly. How many faces you can see. In Blender 3.4, by default, you can't see how many faces it have. Alright. This is to activate the texture. Now, in order to see how many triangle, how many faces, whether it is high poly or low poly, you can just right click at here. Then, tick the scene statistic. Now you can see the faces is 17,000. That means if you turn on the wireframe mode, totally there are 17,000 triangle at here. It's really a lot. And then, these 3D models, it is a combination of multiple meshes. It is totally about 35 meshes plus the 01s is 36 meshes here. And now you can see this is 9 times 4. It is totally 36 meshes. And then the texture materials, if you go to the UV editing and have a check, it is totally 36 UV material, totally 36 material texture as well. Now I back to the layout. So now what we are going to do is to combine totally 36 meshes into just one single mesh by using the Simplygon. At the same time, you bake all the materials. So it is really simple. The alternative methods that you can use is click the first one, hold the shift, click the last one, and press Ctrl J. Then it can combine all the mesh. This is the function that's already built in the Blender 3.4. But for this time, I want to undo it. I want to show you how to use the Simplygon. It is even easier because at the same time, if you are using the Simplygons, it is going to bake all the material into one single material at the same time. So to activate the Simplygon, just now you already activate the plugin. Now you just need to press N. You should be able to see the Simplygon is here. Then select it. Click Add the level of detail components. Under the basic, you should be able to see the aggregation with material baking. The aggregation means it is going to combine all of the selected meshes into one single mesh. And then it is going to combine all the materials, bake all the material, become one single material texture. So here you have to scroll down to click process and wait for a while. Now it is processing. It is combining all of the meshes and bake all of the material. But once done already, you can see you will get an extra process mesh node level of detail 1. This is the one that you want, not the rest. So the rest you can just delete it. Click the last one, hold the shift, click the first one, and press delete buttons. Now this single mesh is the level of details you can use this. The rest I already deleted. Right. Once deleted already actually, now we go and check back the UV editing. It already baked the material to become one single material like this. Just now there are totally 36 material texture. Now it all combined to become one. And it is really awesome. Already combined. Now I back to the layout. Then you can see the faces is totally 17,000 faces. If I check this. Right. You have two alternate methods to reduce the faces and triangle. The first method, you can just go to here, the modifier properties, and add a modifier, decimate. Now the ratio, now 1 means 100%. If you want to reduce it to become 50%, here you put it as 0.5 and press enter. Now you can see it already reduced the number of faces. And then you back to here, you can see it is no much difference. Right. So back to the modifier here. With the wireframe, if here you put it as 0.2, 0.8, then if 0.9, 0.01, alright. The default is 1, but this one is not that easy to use because it is going to destroy some of the structure. Let's say if now I put it become 0.2, what will happen? It is going to appear some problems. It lost some faces. So I not recommend you to use this. So you may just close it. Do not use the modifier. And then you can see this. If you want to use the Simplygon, just delete the aggregation pipeline just now. And then add a LOD components. Choose the basic reductions. Under the reduction here, you can go to the reduction setting. Let's say this is 0.5. If you put it become 0.4, that means it is going to reduce until 0.4. The number of faces of the mesh will reduce to 0.4. That means it is the 40% of the number of faces of the original of the original 3D mesh. So now if I choose 0.4, that is 40%, I click process. Now it is processing, and let's wait for a while until it is 100%. Now it is done. That means it is going to generate a new mesh, and this is a previous one. So I'm going to delete the previous one. I press delete button. So you can see now the number of faces is become 6,800 triangles, 6,800 faces. It is the 40% of the previous one. But you can see it still doesn't look different, right? But this number of faces is already game ready. The game engine easy to support this type of the quantity of the number of triangle and faces. Now just have a check. Now the number of triangle already reduced. It is really awesome. What can you do the next step? Now this 3D models already game ready. This is a game ready 3D models. Just now you already process it from high poly to low poly. You already baked the multiple material textures to become one single texture. And at the same time, you also already make the multiple 3D meshes into one single mesh. Now this is game ready. Once game ready, then you can just save as another file. Alright. This is my original Moon01 blends. Now I'm going to save as a new project a new Blender project. The name will be moon01 underscore low poly single material single mesh. Game ready. Alright, I save this. So this is the one that we want. And in this tutorial, I already show you how to use the Blender 3.4 to make your high poly, multiple meshes, multiple material 3D models to become a game ready single mesh, single material and low poly 3D models. And it is ready to import into Unreal Engine 5.1. So before that, you have to export it as FBX. Click File, Export, FBX. And I will just name this as moon01 game ready. Export it as FBX. The path mode you have to make sure you choose copy. And here you have to make sure you highlight it. This path mode is to make sure that all of the material, all of the texture will be embedded inside the FBX file. Now I click Export FBX. This is a game ready 3D model. Now you can see this is the one. So next up, I will just import into Unreal Engine 5.1 game project. The Unreal Engine 5.1. So as demo, I'm going to just open the Unreal Editor, the Unreal Editor 5.1, and I will just create a new game project. So as demo, I will just create a new game project, a third-person game project. Like this, I will click Create. In your Unreal Engine 5, once you imported the 3D mesh, the FBX file, then you have to set the collisions. Okay, this is a fresh new project, a fresh new game project. If I play, this is a third-person game project, and the shaders are not finished preparing yet. Just wait for a while. It is still preparing the shader. Alright, now I press escape. This is a third-person game. Then what I'm going to import is the moon01 game ready. We want any of the 3D models that are already game ready before you import into your Unreal Engine 5.1 to make the game engine easier to process it. So now I'll create a new folder here under the content folder. The new folder, I will just name this as moon01. Then I will just drag in the moon01 game ready FBX. Just drag in, and then I will click import all. Now you can see it is really simple. These 3D models, if I double click to check it, this is a really simple 3D model. This is a static mesh. And then it is just a single material. A single material and also a single mesh. It is very easy. Before that, I have to set the collision. Just double click this static mesh. The collision, you have to set it here. Just drag it down. You should be able to see the collision here. What we are going to do is the collision preset, you set it as block all. The collision complexity, you make it become use complex collision as simple. Use complex collision as simple. It is going to follow all the 3D meshes as the collision surface. Then click save and close. Now for your game, if you drag it out like this, and then I make it bigger like this. Alright, this is the terrain like this. Now I move it. Alright, next I'm going to test these collisions. This is just very simple test play. And we are going to test the collisions of this moon surface 3D model. Let's say this is a crate. You can see now this player can drop into the crates. This is a 3D model. It automatically follow all the collisions. You look at the footsteps. It will step on all of the mesh surface like this. And it is really awesome. Now you already successfully import these 3D models as a game ready 3D model. And just now the original is like this. The scale should be same as all. If I play, all of the collision are normal. Right. Now you already successfully imported the Blender 3D models that starting from the high poly 3D models with multiple meshes and also multiple materials to become a game ready 3D models with single mesh and single material. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you love my video tutorial and sharing, if you feel all these tutorial and sharings are very helpful to your 3D modeling, 3D animation and game developing, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn on the mini bell and select all, so that when next time I publish a new video tutorial or sharing, you receive a notification immediately. See you in my next video. Enjoy. Happy 3D modeling, 3D animation and game developing. See you.